Hello, engineering students. For this sketching lesson, we're going to learn how to draw curved objects. So we're going to be working with curved objects, and we're going to start off with a nice sharp pencil or mechanical pencil. And what you're going to do is use a blank sheet of paper, no graph paper, no line paper, a blank sheet of paper. So if you don't have one of those, grab one from Mr. Cruz, and I'll be happy to give that to you. So what we're going to do is go ahead and fold your paper like this. And I'm going to get rid of the rest of this paper here. And then go ahead and open it up. On this side, this is going to be our practice side. So what I want you to do is get nice and comfy, and you're going to start drawing ellipses. And what is an ellipse? An ellipse is a oval, like an elongated oval like that. So let me zoom in here a little bit. And what I want you to do is just practice doing that. So see how many you can fit on this side. Make large ones, small ones, medium-sized ones. Just try to get as many as you can on the page. So on this side of the page. Okay, you need to practice this skill so you can get better at it when it comes to drawing curved objects like holes or wheels or cups or anything with a curved surface that might look like an ellipse. Okay, so I'm not sure how many I made, probably like 50 so far. Once you have that, cool. Let's repeat that on this side. But this time, try to keep them all the same size. Okay, flip it over and do that again. So this time, just do a row or a column down the middle. Okay, so keep them the same. Try to, let me get a pencil. Try to keep them the same size. Okay, and then repeat on this side. Same size. Okay, good. So that warmed you up for a clean sheet. So this what you just made. Okay, you're going to submit that with the drawing that we're about to make. All right, great. So now on your sheet of paper, you're going to draw an ellipse like right in this area and an ellipse like right in this area. So here I go. And make sure they're the same width. Okay, so I have one ellipse. And make sure you're not drawing it too dark. You want it to be a light ellipse. Okay, and now you have the two ellipses, and they should be the same width roughly. And let me draw a construction line between the two edges of the ellipses. So in theory, it's kind of a rectangle. And once we have those two shapes and it looks pretty proportional, we can then move on to adding details and making it look kind of like a mug. So we're going to actually be making a mug shape here. So we have our rounded curves here, and I'm just going to keep kind of redrawing that so I get like the shape I want. Okay, and of course I'm going to erase all of these once I'm happy with the shape that I'm creating. And for this particular mug, I'm going to give it kind of like an extra detail. So it's going to go beyond the edges of the cup. So I'm going to draw a curve like that. I'm drawing light, so a curve like that. And then I'm going to give it a little bit of a vertical line like this on both edges. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see that. And then I'm going to, from those two edges, give it another rounded curve. And then on the inside, rounded curve and a rounded curve. Okay. And then the edges here, I'm going to make those a little darker. Like so. Same here. And then I'm going to follow this curve and give that a darker line. Now, I wanted to add some extra details here, so I'm going to add like a little bit of a bottom to this. Okay, so I want to, showcase my curve making skills here in this sketch. That's what I want you to do. I'm encouraging you to try to draw exactly what you see me draw. Now my pencil's not very sharp, so it's going to be more artsy looking than technical looking, and that's totally good for this beginning lessons. Okay. And then once I'm happy with what I'm seeing, I'm going to darken up all of the harder edges of this particular mug design. Obviously, pause and play. So pause the video as needed so you can see the skill being taught. And so this is the basic body shape. And I do want a handle on this. So, right around this area right here, I'm going to draw two short parallel lines like so. And then I'm going to draw two parallel lines vertically like so. And then an angled parallel lines like so. And then I'll use those corners to create an arc shape here like this in those corners. And then I will make those darker, those lines. Okay, and to emphasize that this is a 3D shape, I'm going to extend this line a little bit and curve it just like that. And then I'm going to add another like accent line right here. And that really emphasizes that it's a three-dimensional shape. And then to keep emphasizing that it's a three-dimensional shape, we're going to do a hybrid kind of like cross-hatching, hatching, blending. And so we're going to start on the inside here. And what we'll do is from this corner, we'll start adding diagonal lines like this. And then diagonal lines in the other direction. Just like in this section, leave this empty. And then along this edge here, we're going to make a column of hatched lines. Just like that. And then next to it, another column of hatched lines, but a little bit longer. And we're going to stop like right there. And then we're going to do something very similar on this corner. We're going to curve though. So we're going to do some curved hatch lines, but it's going to be more triangular shaped. So imagine this is a triangle, right? Just like that. And then we're going to add some cross hatching lines just to emphasize it a little bit more to make people think it's rounded. And then we'll give it another column of hatched lines. Okay, and then we'll clean it up. We'll clean up any smudges, any lines we don't need. Oh, I wanted this rim thing here to be a dark color. So I'm gonna leave like a bubble here and a bubble here and a bubble here because it's gonna be like a shiny part. And then the rest is gonna get colored in black. Oh, we're gonna add some cross hatching here. And then along this line that we made, just some really small cross hatches. And then on the inside here. So, see how quickly we can make something look 3D just by adding some cross hatching and some curves. So, I'm hoping to get that point across to you that it doesn't need to be fine art, it doesn't need to be like perfect. The basics are here. We started off with our curves, we drew some darker lines, and then we added a bunch of little lines to emphasize the shape of this to try to make it appear round. And that's a very effective tool for you as an engineer when you're designing any kind of solutions or parts for objects or parts for machines. When you're trying to get an idea across, it's important that you try to make it look realistic so that it's easy to understand and see. And if you want to take this drawing to another level, you can, simply label it. So this is a mug. Obviously, we know what a mug is, but we can add more details or more notes. So we can write in like handle. This part right here, this is I'm going to call it a lip. And this can get any colors if you want to add colors. We can add like the material choice. So this is going to be a metal mug. And so on. We can add as many details as we want. The more detailed we are, the better it is for somebody looking at our sketches so that it's easier for them to understand what it is we are designing or what we're presenting to them. So turn in your mug drawing once it's complete like this, along with the warm-up, and you'll be good to go on this assignment.